Paul. It's 2:24. I got here about 5 minutes ago. Yes. Now, I had sent some emails from the senior center. Yes. And I was trying to clean up my emails. I sent about 2,500 to 3,000 of them. Oh, and I didn't get any phone calls and I didn't get any responses. So I was kind of going through some of the older emails, and they have what's known as impropriety off the bench. Yes, judges are required to live an exemplary life off the bench as well. Consequently, the commission has the authority and responsibility to look at a judge's activities outside of the courtroom. Complaints dealing with off the bench conduct might allege misappropriation or misuse of public employees, the misappropriation or misuse of a court officer to sign. Now, was it the former chief of police of Port Angeles, Terry Gallagher, that got the stamp of the state court seal under duress of the court officer? Or was there a judge that influenced the decision and they misused a public employee? And then there's misappropriation, misuse of property or funds, improper speech or associations, interference with a pending or impending lawsuit. I was in a Starbucks, yeah, and I thought the arrest that took place on Memorial Day weekend of 2012 was illegal. Yeah, they served me my dissolution of marriage at the same moment as arresting me. And I kind of found out that this service of civil family court matters. Yeah. You can't arrest a person at the same moment as serving them their dissolution of marriage. Makes it difficult to respond. Well, the sheriff showed up when I was living at the fifth wheel. And, well, it was one of these questions about exactly how should I proceed. And my public defender at that time, Stan Myers, right, he represented me during that jury trial. And it was one of those where I had made a phone call to Healthy Families of Cloud County to see if they got the documentation from Guam. Then I had completed the diversion. Yes. Well, what happened was a petition for renewal of order 1 week after I was arrested. Yeah. And I'd gotten out of jail maybe 2 or 3 days before that. I can look at the exact documentation. But the problem is when you arrest somebody for the allegation of violating a protection order, where in 2011 there was no notice or opportunity to be heard. Yeah. And then they issued it on August 12th of 2011. Yes. And then I had contacted Healthy Families of Clallam County, wanting to reconcile. Well, I found out that, at least in my mind, I thought it was worth $5 million to serve a person, yes, and then arrest a person for not attempting to contact the petitioner, but it was their documentation that said that they were the emergency contact number. Well, I was sitting next to the former chief of police, Bill Dixon of Sequim, Washington, and I was on the phone with a friend of mine, Tom Bryant, and I said, well, I think I'm going to sue the county for $5 million. Now, the chief of police was sitting right next to me, and I made sure that Bill Dixon did hear me. I made sure. I wanted the county to know that I was going to sue them for $5 million. Well, I had at one point thought that if the chief of police had overheard a conversation, was it public knowledge, and had used his position of authority to interfere with a pending lawsuit or impending lawsuit, It was obvious to me that since, must have been June, July of 2012, the county has intentionally obstructed me from suing them. Pooch. Now I could say that Cherie Crane, as the chief of police of Sequim, arresting me for the 2-count criminal complaint on the traffic violation when I wasn't in that city. It's almost as if the county doesn't want any lawsuits. Now I know once I subpoena the former chief of police, Bill Dixon, I'm going to ask him, Bill, did you tell anybody about my phone call to my friend Tom? See, there are certain requirements of law. Um, did I attempt to contact the petitioner? No. I was found not guilty. Yes. But then you reissued this on May 31st of 2012, Commissioner Brent Basin. Oh, and then you reissued it approximately 14 days. Now, the law does say 14 days or less. Right. By minute order. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Now, this petition to renew the order on May 31st, yeah. Was I given any actual or notice of the hearing? Oh, you gave it to me 12 hours before you had the hearing. You issued a minute order asking me because a minute order does not require the appearance of the respondent 12 hours before you had the court hearing. That is not 5 judicial days. Now, I had told you that I was going to sue you for that, but I'm thinking that there's some judges in this county and other counties that are intentionally interfering, as in interfering. Now, this judicial conduct, are you going to do what the law says? Because I am going to sue the former chief of police of Sequim and the chief of police of Sequim. Now, interference with a pending or impending lawsuit. I'm one of those Americans that make sure that law enforcement does know that I'm going to sue them. I'm going to sue Brent Basin for reissuing a temporary protection order by minute order when you only gave me 12 hours before the court hearing because, as I remember the conversation, 2 sheriffs had showed up at the fifth wheel. Yes, yes, yes. They actually read me the information. I said, I'm not going. Hooch. Now, at that time, I didn't know about the requirements of the law to have 5 judicial days. Is Judge interfering with my right to sue him?